Oh yeah. How you guys doing? Sorry, I was like cooking and didn't realize what time it was. Like a normal person, I suppose. Yeah, cooking crack. But I have coffee, so we're on the right path. And I can't get the top. How's everybody? Good? Meh? Heh? Let's see. Let me get everything all good to go here. Yeah. Show me the wobs, please. How about y'all gonna do what I want to do, which is work. I have shit to do. Let's see. I guess the thing I want to talk about today is a thing that like nobody seems to talk too much about, and it's in my opinion the most important part of writing a song, which is like writing a song. So like, hold on, let's just pull up Serum, eh? Let's like before I do anything ever in a project, I always start with like, what key is it in? Oh, where am I in Sekiro? Not far. I'm fighting Lady Butterfly and simultaneously fighting that red samurai guy. It's rough. It's hard out here. Um, yeah, so I'll like think of a key and then write a melody, even if it's like a super simple little, like just the bass melody, like not a bass line, but like let's say we want to do something in G, which I've been doing a lot of because I like it. That is the wrong MIDI. Ha ha ha. Oh, that's too low. So I'll go like. Let's take a look. Let's see. Ow, my ears, what? What's wrong with it? I think it's just a metronome. It might be easier if I just. Yeah, that should be right. So I'll start with something like this. Hold on. That's. There we go. Uh, I kind of just do whatever. So like that might even change, right? It's just something. Do I work with a MIDI keyboard? No, I don't. It's just something to kind of get the juices flowing. So I'll think of like a progression I really like, even if I'm not going to use it in the final thing. But it'll give me something to write the lead over, and then I can change the underlying thing to fit the lead better. So like, if I've got that, then I can go like, for example. Like, It sounds like shit, but it's what I do. Oh, let's see. Will I be saving this to watch later? Yep, sure will. Sure will. Yeah, but like it always sounds like shit with the initial patch unless you like do some basic flippity floppity bullshit. Let's see. Oh, that's not enough. Boop boop. So I'll usually do something, just some dumb shit, and then I'll come in and start like shaping the basics. I usually tend to do a lot of like squarey leads because I think they're fun. Is it possible for you to see what we're doing within Serum? Oh, is it not showing? That's not good. I guess I'm just screen capturing Ableton. I mean, what I'm trying to say isn't like about Serum at all. It's about songwriting. I'm cool with doing a monitor cap. Here, let me do it real quick. Let's just do this then. Where's that? Display capture? Okay. Oh, Jesus Lord. Oh, good God. Let's fix that, shall we? That's like a lot going on. That's all good though. We'll get it. Hard to see what the fuck is happening. Here, hold on. I got it. I got you, pals. I've got a cute little GIF in the background because I hate backgrounds that don't move. There we go. Hey. Nice. Is that better? Let me know. Yeah, OBS is a wacky thing. Is that all good? Let's test it with Serum. Yeah, that stupid little lead's just a square wave. It's also extremely slow. There we go. There you go. See, it sounds like a melody now. And then with this bassy stuff, it's always tough to find like something that's gonna work. So generally I would do like a Reese super sawy thing. Then I'd probably fuck with the filter a little bit. So I don't really like pay too much attention at that point. I just start like going for it usually. So if I take this, like here's another way I'll do it is I'll take that melody and I'll just start one at a time. There's a lot of button tapping in my life. I didn't know you made music. Was wondering why everything on here said not to ask about music. I make music. It's my job. That's cool. No one ever knows me not for that, which is nice. I'm not even mixing yet. It doesn't matter if I'm redlining. Y'all need to go to church, okay? Because this is not about engineering. It's not about sound design. It's about writing. And I think that's something a lot of people gloss over in dubstep. And I think it's important that we put an emphasis on that. Oh, how long have I been making music? Professionally, 10 years. Before that, Jesus, how old am I? 27? I started when I was like 12 or 13, making it like for reals. So, long time ago. But I still like it. I really do not like that sound we made. That sounds like absolute horse shit. Actually quite like that. I wonder though. Nope, 7th isn't gonna work. Not 7th. Fucking not a 7th. Fix that lead too. See all that stuff? I always just go back and forth. Oh wait, what did I do that for? Haha, you'll see that everything I do is an accident. That's not what I wanted. There we go. Am I able to make Ableton's piano roll larger? Yes. I think, yeah, you can do it like that. I always try not to have like too much of a gap between notes because it will sound less like programmed and choppy and more like I'm good at writing. So like with all this stuff, if you notice, like it's really not jumping that much, and there's always kind of a step in between. Uh, DMGP 1000. I haven't heard Flume's new mixtape. That style of electronic music doesn't really interest me very much, but he's good. Good. Big up Flume. Fucking everybody likes to rip him off, don't they? Ooh, so here is where it gets boring. Right around here. So you always want to look out for like problem areas in your leads. Like, so I like the intro, like the that little da-na-na needs to have something to like make it. Nope. Maybe a bend. Ooh. Nah. It might just need that. It might just need to stay the same. Or maybe bend down. Ooh. Oh, okay. That finger wag is how you know I've found something. I like to manually do these little bends instead of like a pitch wheel. That's too early. So that's the first little loop, and then I typically will like modify the same loop for the second so that it's like let me get rid of all this real quick. Something like that, and then you've got this whole loop, and like, I read that here. Yeah. Uh, yeah. A lot of my music is influenced by SNES era music. I'm not sure why. It just always resonated with me. Um, Especially the sounds. Like, for example, this shit right here is my swag. Like, there's a retro quality to a lot of the stuff I make, and what is giving it that is actually this. It's like a fake brass that you can just do by fucking with the detune. So, like, if I exaggerated that, it would sound like this. And sometimes I'll actually just use it like the hit. Like, so my favorite synthesizer of all time is the Roland D50, which is like kind of like a nexus of its time. Like, it could do synthesis, but it was mostly like kind of a sampler in that it had these short digital samples that would hit on the attack of a sound, like in the beginning of a sound, like this, like, and then you would layer it with whatever you like. So, like, so now you actually quite like that. And if you wanted to do it a little harsher, like, that's basically a Kirby sound right there. But yeah, all that era was mostly that kind of shit, like those, you know, late 80s, early 90s FM, like with the Yamaha DX7, stuff like that. It's fun. Like, all my in my oldest music, I used to make these like pan flute sounds that were like basically this, and I would even like do it. Like, let me see if I can get it right. I used to do it like this. Could bring it back. Let's see if I can still remember how to do it. Oh, that's clearly not it. I used to use white noise as well, I believe, just on the attack. So it's got the. There it is. That was the old one. You have an M1, but the output on the right side is broken? That is fucking depressing. I'm so sorry. Pan flute era must die never went away. There's still pan flutes hidden around. uh, a lot of people think that my music changed a lot, but what really happened was I was always trying to make these sounds. I didn't know how to do it, and I was always like, "Oh, I really wish I could do like a lot of the trance stuff that like I grew up on and came from." And then, like, if you did that, you were automatically labeled like one of those like melodic dubstep guys, and like I never wanted to be that. I always wanted to be like quite heavy. And so I was like, in the beginning, like in the very start of Must Die, I was so into the idea of like the dichotomy, like the duality, not dichotomy. And like I still do that, but it's all blended together a bit more, where the intros are a bit heavier than they used to be. But like it's this, I still write all my tunes the same way. Like Bliss 2K, for example, it's the same. I did the same thing. Um, yeah. So I just, not much has changed, just the execution, I think. But I like the fundamentals are still here. Josie R, how did I come up with the name Must Die? Someone in the chat, take this one for me, because I'm not doing it ever again. Oh, I like that. Another classic must die move to do is like once I've got it written and like these fundamental sounds, so like once I've got that, I start doing some bullshit where I like get a lot of those romplers like Nexus, etc., etc., etc. No, don't be sorry for asking where I got my name. Just I'm just tired of answering it. It has nothing to do with you. I start layering it with sounds that are just like you just grab them, like presets from Lethal or Nexus or any of that shit, just and then you pull it back so that it has like a weird. You can mount your microphone, please. What? No, I'm wearing this. Thank you. Um, so I'm doing this to add character to the sound, like strings especially. I love. Ooh, I see that that is the wrong note, and we will fix that in post, baby. Yeah, it's kind of hard to hear without like a proper setup, like what fucking low notes are. That is gonna help everything a lot. There we go. And the best way to do it is on all the bassy stuff, I go like 2 or 3 octaves up on the double, and then like uh I guess it's to fill it out so that like that melody isn't always on the bottom, so you can hear it whether you can hear bass or not. Um, like not sub specifically, but like I don't know. Sometimes having a layer higher will make you perceive the melody a lot better than if you're having to like search for it in the low end. But I've been digging a lot of this shit. Not that. Get out of here. Get out. Big room, baby. That's cheesy. That's not bad. That's very ravey. Oh, I like that. And I'll do like a few layers if I can get away with it. I'm on my old laptop right now, so I'm not sure how much I'm gonna get away with. But on my desktop, which isn't, I'm moving studios right now, so this is what we got right now. Tat. So when you're producing, how do you know when enough is enough? I never do. I don't. I'm not very good at stopping working on shit. In fact, I've been known to like change things after they've been turned in. Ooh, I like that. That's what I like. So we're going to do the same thing here with this. This old bad boy. I have this deep house thing that I don't think I've ever listened to. I am the worst. I like will buy expansions and then never touch them because I just tweak things that I like from the regular shit. So what's funny is that I'm actually like mixing as I go, so the levels are fucked, right? And my master isn't on, and like it's not EQ'd. But generally, man, like I don't do a lot. I think if you write and level and do your sound design like with your end result in mind, you have very little to do later. So here, this needs EQing. So we'll go in. Yes, you're all gonna shit on me. I just use EQ8 because I don't care. And like, you don't want a sub there. So we'll add a sub later. And so for now, I just leave it like that. And then honestly, I would just do that across the board. And because I don't want any of that in any of these. And then I'll go in and start like fucking with each one. So this is gonna be like the bass of this. So maybe I kind of want that like 1K like sound. So I don't want to like really cut as much as like unboost. I don't want to do any hard cutting. Then here. Kind of leave it all. I like that one high, but I think this one's higher. Yeah, so I would. Just kind of go up in little dipping steps. This one, what's this one? I kind of like the weightiness of it. I know that's kind of something a lot of people don't do, but I love my like lower mids to have like a lot of weight to them in the melodic side of things. Yeah, that sounds good. Then over here. I want that kind of ducked out in the back. Do I master my own stuff? I master all of my own stuff. I've never had anyone else master my stuff because I'm afraid. I'm afraid. I know that there are people that are so good at mastering and way better than me, but I get so protective. Because like, honestly, I'm one of those producers that writes and like everything and does everything with the master on, which is a no-no if you go to school, but this motherfucker didn't go to school. So I do things the way I like to do them, because it's art. Bitch! Let's see. I try not to fuck with the lead too much, because I wrote it and made it to sound thick. That's gotta go. So that's without leveling, right? If I were doing, and honestly, I would usually like all the things that I want like in there, I would probably just slap an OTT on it. Like I have no issue with that. Like my master is so loud, there is no point in me pretending to care about dynamics. There's no point. If I were making house, I typically do scale it back a bit for more dynamics in my house tunes. But in dubstep shit, it's played loud, it's played fast, and it's like slammed to the red on the mixer when like people that aren't me play it. So fucking who cares? Like dubstep has gone so far from listen to it in your bedroom music that I typically produce it for live play now. then you would just add in like an extra bassy bass, so we can just do that. Could do the classic. Let's see. There we go. You can always use spin. Like right now, my navel here is all kind of fucked up. This means that these headphones, I never produce in these headphones, so I don't know what I'm doing. I need more highs. Like that's clearly quiet. That doesn't make me mad at all. I like it. Yeah, well the thing is, I don't know if this is just an example. Like I'm not writing, I mean I'll probably save this, but I don't really see what I would do with it. It's just more, I guess I'm just really focused on spreading the gospel of being really intentional with your melodic sections. Like I hear a lot of dubstep tunes that are clearly in a key and everything checks out melodically, but it's like clearly the afterthought. Like it's just an excuse to have an intro. And like, I don't think that's a healthy way to grow a genre. Like, the drop should be super important, you know? It's dubstep. I get it. But then, like, why shouldn't it be as fun to listen to the intro as it is to listen to the drop? Build ups are another story. I fucking hate build ups. I hate all of my build ups. I hate everybody else's build ups except for Eptic because his are really fun. But yeah, I don't like writing build ups. I fucking hate them. They're so repetitive. Like you know what's gonna happen in a build up. What are your thoughts on the current state of dubstep? It's fine. Dubstep's fun. Same as it's always been. um, any tips on layering and designing downbeat growls? Is a downbeat growl like on the one? I don't know anything. Um, no. You just got to make a bunch of sounds and hope you like them. Let's see. Do I have multiple variations for songs you've already released? Basically, do you remix and VIP the same song again and again and keep them? No, I don't. Typically, by the time a song comes out, I'm like fucking done with it. Like I'm at that point, I'm probably pretty happy with it, minus a couple of mix issues I might have, but I'm too lazy to fix them. Writing build-ups are a pain in the ass. I agree. Let's see. Do I have any collabs planned with Sudden Death? Uh, no comment. Let's see. What else is going on? I'm trying to catch up on the chat. I'm sorry. What do I do for FX and atmospheres? Honestly, I think most people are not masochists and don't make their own effects. I do sometimes. It really depends. Like if I want to swoosh, I'm not making a swoosh. If I need some kind of like glitchy maniac shit, like I'll make that myself. And I just do it all in Serum and like post process and stretch and all that. Just for that. Like I think the thing I spend the least amount of time on is effects. And some tunes I like straight up forget to add them because it's whatever to me. Sorry, I'm about to cough really loud. I have like fucking horrible allergies. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, so far we've gone over the process, which is start with this. counter. So you've got layers here. Fill it out. Then layer that. Also, if you're smart, you will slightly pan things. You can keep some of it centered, but the more you have centered, and even slight variations do a lot, in my opinion. That should stay centered. That should stay centered. That can go a little wide, just to get it out. Stay centered if it's a fundamental. I don't like that we don't have something to go. I'm like a freak when it comes to having everything equal. That's fine. There we go. How do I usually fill out my top end? I like never focus on the mix down. I'm never like, oh, my mix down needs top end, or oh no. Typically, man, like the best way to go about it is to make the sounds for the song. So like if I'm like, oh dude, this is like a really bass heavy song and has no energy in the top. And I'm like, how can I write for that? So I'll be like, it needs a lead instead of it needs this sound. Like, I think heavily in terms of the writing instead of the engineering. So typically, my engineering is dog shit, but I've like written my way out of problems. That's just it's just the way I do it. Feign music. I think you have the most negative comments of anyone I've seen on SoundCloud, which is a good thing. It shows you're doing your own thing. It's not a good thing. It's pretty fucking awful. And yeah, somewhere around 2014, people decided I'm a villain, which is weird because like all I want to do is make music. It's gotten better. I think the fan base has gotten better over time. So I'm not too butthurt about it anymore. But yeah, it felt bad when everyone all of a sudden decided that I sucked, which was really shitty. Yeah, I think this sounds good now. Like, I want to hear it without the lead. Woo! And also a thing I'm prone to do, and this is like a trick that I've done forever. It's not even a trick. I like movement when there are static chords. So I think it's important to just pick any fucking sound, like something plucky, maybe. Let's try this. How's it sound? Yeah, sure. So then you like solo the fundamentals. So let's get this guy and this guy. And then I'll just go like. Want like it's not going to be this loud, trust. Like I'm just coming up with the and you want to like really get in there and make it disappear. I like to have some of the reverb like caught behind the OTT as well, so that it like blooms. Yes, I missed the old ARP. I don't like the sound. It's not hard enough. Like, can't even do it with a synth. Yeah, that's fine. Sometimes I'll even go lower with it. And you wouldn't think that it matters, but I think it does. Like, you can just hear the little. I think that makes a big difference, especially live. For some reason, that shit comes out live. Now we can go and refine that. We can refine this lead now, so. I don't like that. I fucked that up. Classic. Hold on. I like that hit there. So it's like, let's get in there and do some micro shit. There we go. Ooh, I kind of like that. Maybe a bend? Yeah! Yeah, so I saw someone asking, just to reiterate this lead. It's just that, with a little hit. Could use some more stuff, maybe. think this little walk down. So it needs to go back down that way. Let's try reversing it. Oh, I kind of like that. It's very Donkey Kong. I think that's more like fun for an edit. Like if like the second time hearing it. Like yeah, he could come in with like a wherever that guy went. I'm gonna try to get him out of here. Like, there you go. So back to what I was saying in the beginning of the video, right? So I told you that I will write a lead and then change all of it. Like I'll change the fundamental root notes, right? So that's one of my favorite things to do. And it's also a good way to talk about how I approach remixes. The lead in Together was not inspired by Kirby 64, but like everything else I've ever made has been. That is one of my favorite video game soundtracks of all time. So right now we've got that. You would take this root melody, and instead of that you'd go like. Way too low. You can do anything once you have it all like set up. Once you've got the motif in mind, it's totally fine to just change all of the chords, all of the progression. And honestly, even doing it from section to section, like, so like before the drop, it's this, and in the bridge, it's this. You could do it with the second section as well. So like, let's see. I typically only need the first note to know where I stand. Oh wow, I'm on the wrong monitor. Ha ha! We definitely want this here. Same here. You see? All you have to do is make several sections of different underlying chord progressions, and then you've got like, okay, intro, maybe I don't want a lead. So, or maybe that's like the pre-build-up. And you go straight into this. Yeah, and the goal in my mind is always to have this fit over any chord progression, and that's how I know it's musically sound. So if it's like, can it fit over this? And then something you'll often see me do in bridges will be something that doesn't loop and just evolves over the course of, say, 8 bars or 16 bars, where I'll have it start out like this. Let's just do it here. So. So it'll go like. Just stuff like that. It tends to just make it more exciting. And that's the stuff that people remember. Like they'll remember the sounds, but like that's how like when someone does a mix that isn't directly into the build up live, you'll go, "Oh, I know that song." Because it's important. So that's my spiel on that. But yeah, that's kind of how I do it there. Now for drop stuff, it's the same as everyone else. I'm like, hey, this sounds cool, and then I'll do like the little turnaround where I bring in the melody from the intro just to remind you that it's the same song, um, and stuff like that. And like the drop stuff isn't exciting to me. And on the next stream, I will do some bass sound design and stuff like that. But I wanted to talk about leads today and this kind of stuff. So what would be cool is if we take this lead and we make a non-pan flute version of it, and we can talk about how we do all that. So let's just go back to initial, and I'm gonna go ahead and put the legato back on. So you may have heard me do a lot of really distorted lead. No, I don't really do the copy paste drops from other projects thing. I've done it a couple times recently actually, but generally no, I'm not. I always kind of go in order. So with this, I actually quite like this first section better now. So like. So dramatic, isn't it? I think it needs one of those stompy in your face leads. I'm a big fan of unison and a big fan of detune just because of the music I grew up on being very detuned. And like I also like the very Sega Genesis-y pulse width modulation kind of stuff. Like for example, when I say that, I'm talking about this. Go boop, square wave. Y'all know I love square waves. Then you like. That shit. I like video gamey stuff. I just can't help it. So typically when I'm doing those like Bliss 2K style leads, I'll get 2 layers, and one is high, and one is a lot lower. So I'll do that, and let's just go ahead and do some very slow. I want something kind of screechy that sits through, and then you go through your separate distortions and see what works. Typically for a lead, I would high pass before distorting just to be a little safe. Ooh, I like how it kind of reeses out and phases out. Speaking of the frustration melody, that was done on a roll in D50. That was hardware. I think maybe. Yeah. So I'm just kind of gating the mix to the envelope so that the delays don't like lessen the impact of the held notes. It's really standard, really easy trick. I do it a lot on all of my sounds. So like basses, etc. Hold on. Jesus Christ. My friends are silly. Yeah, I like that. And so these always sound kind of stupid when they're not in the context of the song, right? So, like, this sounds like shit. But then. Still sounds like shit. It needs work, but we'll get there. There's many ways to polish this piece of coal, baby. Let's get in here. I think a little boost on the highs. I like a fuzz. Ooh, okay. Now we're getting there. So I want this to go up an octave. That's very similar to like Animal Parade, I think, was a very similar patch. And honestly, a good way to breathe a little character into it would just be to make it kind of come in and out like that. like that. Let's see what we can do here. Maybe some flanging. That's better. Oh, except for that. Maybe it needs to come down another octave again. I fucking love that. Yeah, that works. It's very virtual self, isn't it? What was that tune? Y'all know. The one with the lead. I fucking forgot the name of it. Yeah, I'm putting that on the old slow boy. The old slow boy. It sounds like I'm talking about my horse from like 40 years ago. Not Eon Break. Particle Arts. Thank you. That is generally how I will do lead design. I tend to always make my own leads instead of using, like, for these layering sections, like stuff like that, just because there's always, I like there to be little nuances where it's not the same every single hit. I like them to kind of morph. And then with a lead, typically, one of the layers will be smashed to shit, and I'll just like cut the audio manually. Because I really like the sound when you pump a bunch of effects through a compressor, and it's like this wall of sound that really, really, really works. Like, you got to control it, and you can't let it ring out. Like, for example, that's not going to cut it. Am I big in do I check in mono? Not that often. I do by the end. Like, I do. But again, if you write for the tune and produce for the tune, the mix down is kind of like just checking your shit. Like, you just go through and you're like, okay, cool, I did that right. I did that right. Oh, I fucked this up. I'll fix it. Instead of like writing and then mixing it all down, that's a nightmare in my personal experience. I prefer to have things kind of in the pocket as I go. Like, I finish a section before I move to the next section. And my intro plays a huge part on the mix down of the drop. So if I'm doing a drop first, I have no idea how to get my intro to match the energy, right? But if I'm going, let's say I start from the very intro. I typically start from like the bridge, like the, not the, so it's like intro, break, build, drop. I typically start from the break and write all the melodies and stuff. And then I know where to go for the intro, where to go for the build, where to go for the drop, because that's really the essence of the tune for me. Like a classic old example, gem shards, like that ba, ba, da, 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 was the first part I wrote. And I was like, okay, now I know what the song means, like what it is. And I can write a drop for this. Like, whatever I write after this needs to play off of or complement this section because to me, that's the hook, not the drop. Like, in Gem Shards, the chords are the hook. And I'm a pop songwriter, like, just by nature. And that is what I'm looking for. I need that, like, something to snatch onto that you'll hum because you're not like you may hum and go like wah 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 for a drop, but like the melodies are really the things that get stuck in my head. So I kind of write for those. I write to give myself like the same feeling that I got when I heard like Not Alone by Calvin Harris, because like that hook is massive, or like any Rusty tune, it's never about like when the chorus comes in, it's always the little break before the build and stuff. And I still think that way, and I feel like a lot of people don't and a lot of people do, but for me personally, that's where my head is at when I'm thinking about music. Hold on, I'm gonna catch up on the chat real quick. In regards to checking mono, normally if you know what kind of stuff causes phase cancellation, you should not have to check all the time if your shit is still good in mono. Yeah, I check. But I've rarely, if ever, had any issues with stereo phase cancellation, unless I've like pushed something way too far. Oh my God, my Illegalities remix. I forgot I did that. I had so much fun writing that tune. That was for Hyper Crush, wasn't it? I used to listen to a ton of Hyper Crush in high school. Let's see. Virtual Self has been hella inspiring for me lately. That's good, man. I like, or girl, or boy or girl. Um, what am I drinking? Coffee. Um, I am like always sneaking around the Asian grocery store grabbing all my favorite shit from my favorite places. UCC coffee is interesting because I don't think it's actually a Japanese made product anymore, but whenever I'm in Japan, I'm constantly on my Boss Coffee shit and it's close. But yeah, I'm always like trying to grab my Asian 7-Eleven snacks, whether they be Thai, Chinese, or Japanese, because I'm in Asia most of the time. What is my studio setup? Dude, you're looking at it. My laptop. That's it. I don't do like I used to have like monitors and everything and a desktop, and like I found that I was getting so distracted by the technology that I wasn't writing and I wasn't getting the mix downs that I liked. So I was like earlier this year, like shortly before um let's see, the first tune I wrote back on just laptop speakers was I Don't Want to Live. I Don't Want to Live was written in my hotel room on just my laptop speakers, no monitors, no headphones, and it made me feel really good again. And like I did back in the day, like Fever Dream part 1 and 2, I wrote literally just on my couch with my laptop, and that process of just it being more like a hobby instead of a job, like when you sit down with monitors and shit, like you feel like you kind of have to do something because you've paid money for this stuff. But with just your laptop that you would use to like fucking play cracked Minecraft in 2011, that's the shit where you're gonna write stuff you want to write. And then again, man, like my opinions are just mine, but I've had such a good time switching back to just an old laptop. And it's like a shitty laptop. It's like a 2015 MacBook Pro that's been dropped about 1,000 times. And yeah, so I'm glad to be back home, as it were. Let's see. Do you have anywhere we could send you music? Yes, I do. I'm gonna tweet it out. I have a promo account that I haven't checked in like 4 years. I will tweet it out. Frustration seems like it has so many bass layers, all automated with panning. How many bassers are going on there? A lot. That tune was kind of an experiment in slamming as much shit together as I could just to make a point, and I had fun doing it. It also samples, I think, Eptic saying "fuck it up," and then a human scream over the B section, and it's like the crazy thing is I didn't even pitch it. I just like stretched the shit out of it and distorted it, and it's just like this long, creepy thing. Whoa! Don't bring up cracked Minecraft. I don't think I ever actually bought it. Minecraft back in the day. I used to play like so much Minecraft in like 2011, 2010. That was crazy. I love Odd Profit's bass layering. Me too. He's a really talented producer. Yeah. You can send me anything to the promo email. I just have to remember what it was. I need to go through my emails and find that. And yes, it is a real scream and frustration. um, let's see what else. Your VIP's remix is one of my all-time favorites. Thank you very much. I feel like I've heard you play a different version of your release with a different bass line. It was filthy too. Oh, dude, that I worked on the VIP's remix. It was just a thing for my set, because I didn't think it through and realized that people were gonna want it. So I like didn't save the project when I first made it. I just like made it like an edit kind of, where I just made a drop and like stuck them together, and then I had to remake it basically from scratch for the actual release. So that's why it sounds different. But the one I did for the re-release is more like festival bassy, which worked really well at the time. So I'm glad I made the changes, because like in Asia and stuff, it wasn't working because it was like too heavy. So I had to make it a little more like Sesco esque. Can I show you the Airborne Remix project? No, I don't even know where that project is. But also, I'm not really interested in revisiting stuff that old, because I made a lot of mistakes that I would probably just sit there and try to fix on stream, which would not be fun for me. um, I don't know if I'm gonna be at Lost Lands yet. I know I would like to be. Anyway, let's see what the time is. I do have to run an errand pretty soon. I'm gonna say 15 to 20 minutes. Um, your boy needs to go to the bank because your boy needs to finish getting everything ready for the new studio, which is where you will next see me stream from. I'm super excited. It's like an office space and a streaming setup, and it's gonna be really fun. And I've never had a space that wasn't my own place, so I'm pretty stoked. Is the main bass in the Airborne remix the same one you made during the Boy in a Band stream? I highly doubt it. Highly doubt it. Um, get that bread. Yeah, that's more like be fiscally responsible, huh? It's all about accountability, financial accountability 2019, eh? Let's see. What were we what were we even making? Let's check the old version. I think we did all right. That sounds pretty cool. I'm not sure in what capacity I would use this, but I write stuff like this all the time. Like almost every day, I'll come up with like at least one section like this where I'll just have a melody ready to go. Um, so then I'll save them all and I'll name them all, and those will likely be the final names. So like for this, let's say I just had this section, I would save that project, and based on what this is, I would give it a name, Like, and if y'all know how I name my tunes, just like two random ass words that I think sound cool together, like piss crystal or something. And then like I'll save that. And then when it comes time to do an EP or something, I'll open it up and then like keep going. Like I almost never write a bunch of melodies and finish them or like even worry about it at first. I'm constantly like going back to melodies I wrote the last week and working on those and always have a little stockpile of melodies. Yeah. Yeah, I'm laughing at Piss Crystal too. That was pretty good. um, also, another producer tip is to have a Kirby stress ball that is scented like strawberries nearby at all times because that's cute as shit. So I keep those around. Does anybody have any more questions before I diggity dip over there to lay bank? I am really happy that you guys were so receptive to this kind of stream because I absolutely love talking about songwriting like so much. Uh oh, finally somebody comes in with the stupid questions. Would you mind answering us what happened with the track called Royalty or the collab with Protohype, something like that? They're old and I wasn't happy with them, and so we didn't put them out. Just because you start a song doesn't mean you have to finish it. They're like 5 years old now. I'm not putting them out and I'm not finishing them. But like, Prototype's a sweet boy, and we're friends, and we're not gonna finish that song or put it out. um, thanks for the stream. Oh, you're so welcome. Yeah, we'll be on. I'll be back in an hour and a half, or I think 2 hours with There are vocals in Bliss 2K. Oh, the samples. Oh god, I don't know, random rave sample packs. Um yeah, so I'll be back on at 3:30 my time for uh Dark Souls. I think we're pretty close to the end of the game, so me and Descender are going to try to get as far in Dark Souls as we can today. Where did you get the choir sound for Snow Cone? I think it's just a sound font from like Final Fantasy VII for Snow Cone. Oh, the freestyle vocal. Yeah, that's from like this hip hop line, just like hip hop acapella. Like a royalty free one. Any plans or are you interested in starting your own label? I've always wanted to start a label, but I never wanted to put in the work, and I'm so happy on Never Say Die that like I definitely wouldn't want to be in charge of my own music, but as for like starting a label, it's not in the cards right now. But I mean, I just don't think that I have any authority to tell anyone what's good and what's not. I just don't think that that's my place. Like I'll rant about it all day on Twitter, but at the end of the day, man, like you should put out and be able to put out whatever you want, whenever you want. I don't think that there should be that kind of like gatekeeping. Um, thanks a ton for the stream. You're so welcome. This was blessing. Do I mix to -6 and keep headroom in mind? No, I smash everything into the fucking red. Not on the channels. I actually look, so right here, typically these would all anything that is ever at 0 in my project has been OTT'd. And that anything OTT'd like a bass, all my drop basses are at 0, but their OTT reduces them by like -10. So like then I'll just slam the master. It's fucked up. Don't ever do anything like I do it. It's a problem. Um, let's see. What do I think of the Moody Good EP? I haven't heard it yet, man. I love Moody Good so much, and I loved 16-bit, and I think it's like the shit. So I want to check it out, but I've been so busy, and I've been like writing, so I just haven't been listening to a lot. I've been creating a lot, and then when I'm done, I'll probably go into a deep listening phase. Do I sidechain? I do both. I sidechain and use volume shaper, MIDI triggered. Um, let's see. Where is the? I like how someone just said freestyle. When I mix my drops, how does it differentiate from your intros? Sounds like your intro sounds so full. My drops aren't as layered. Well, they're more layered now. Bliss 2K is insanely layered. Um, it's really volume and like effects. So my intros won't have a lot of like effects in the melodic bits if I can help it. And so all the high end that usually comes from the high synths um, will kind of transfer over to like atmospheric effects and stuff in the drop so that there's not like some kind of cut on the energy. Can we get an idea of what I put on my master? Yeah, sure. It's just ozone. All I do is ozone. Just ozone. Crank that shit. Do you create a duplicative drop main bass and add simple delay, Haas, phaser, flanger, duplicate to give more space and width? Nope. One layer per patch, typically, and then I'll just have like another patch doing something else over it, maybe. Yeah. Can I rap? Weirdly, yes. I'm weirdly good at that. I've been so interesting fun fact about me. I've been since 2006, 2005. I started producing as a way to make stupid hip hop tunes for me and my friends. And I'm not going to prove it, but I think a lot of artists have heard my joke shit. It's yeah, I'm all right. um, do you think you have seen anyone doing something with the Doppler effect in their tracks? I don't know, man. I don't think so. I feel like a lot of people kind of work like me, and if they don't, that's probably for the best. I'm not showing y'all, but I love you. Maybe one day. Maybe after like 3 beers. Yeah, I think Tara Reid's fun. He sounds like Danny Brown. I feel like Tanner sounds a lot like Danny Brown when he raps. How much gain reduction are you usually seeing on your master limiter? Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't know. I need to check. Do they generally just compress the drums or are the basses being slammed too for the drops? I've never really analyzed it that far. I'm really not that technical of a producer. Um, it's definitely a lot of gain reduction, mostly from the kick and snare. But yeah, I mean, I slam it, man. Soft clip, baby. All right, guys. Well, I really, really appreciate all of you for hanging out and coming to listen to what I had to say about this. I'll definitely think of some other topics that I'm passionate about and like would really love to share with you. My apologies for not getting into any bass sound design because I just didn't want to start on that foot. But we will get there, and I certainly have no issue showing you how I do stuff. It's like I don't have any secrets. Um, but yeah, I really appreciate it. I thought this would take a little longer to talk about, but I feel like we really covered it. And just to reiterate, let's hear what it sounds like when you give a shit. I think I might keep this. I like this section better. It is very Kirby 64. Well, I'm gonna save that. And Piss Crystal is a really good name. I will post the promo email on Twitter. Let me find it. You will have it today. I'm super sorry that I can't remember it off the top of my head. It's some form of must die promo. I think it is mustdiepromo@gmail.com. Try that. Yeah, Piss Crystal. It's a good name. I'll probably have to change it to P Crystal because my label will be like, "What in the fuck is wrong with you, Lee?" Which is a thing that they say a lot. Um, I am the worst. Oh yeah. All right, guys. Well, I hope you have a fantastic day, and I love you very much. And anyone that's interested in Dark Souls and watching me get frustrated at some bullshit, I'll be on at 3:30 Pacific Daylight Time with Descender, and we'll be on until 6:30. All right. Cheers.